me the queen of returns. I return everything. Clothes, perfume, printer ink, underwear. I returned a couch cover from Bed Bath & Beyond that I had used for 6 months. I just stuffed it back in the vinyl zipper bag, got the receipt, and got my full refund. It was still in good shape. This was before I had cats. I felt justified. Bed Bath & Beyond is this huge corporation where I have spent tons of money, even when I was using the 20% off coupon. Well, if I'm the queen, my friend Patrice was the empress. We met in a theater company years ago, Theater Geo. I was drawn to her enthusiasm, her amazing laugh, and her impeccable sense of style. I needed help with a costume, and so I went to Patrice. She said, "Oh, we can return everything you're not using and even return what you wear in the show." I said, "Well, how if I take the tags off?" She said, "I have a gun." A tagger gun. Patrice showed me how to re-tag items and return them to the store. It was so easy. She had all the attachers, short, long, black, clear, the kind you loop through and click to attach a tag to a purse. And she had this intricate system of attaching her tags to receipts and organizing them by date and store. She knew all the return policies. For Macy's, you have 6 months to a year, and you don't need a receipt. But for stores like Marshall's and Ross, 1 month, and you definitely need a receipt. Her favorite store, Anthropologie, had an unlimited return policy. Up until now, Anthropologie was out of my starving artist's reach, but now, with the use of a tagger gun, Anthropologie was affordable. Patrice had so many beautiful clothes. They were all impeccably stored in plastic covers lined in her garage. I encouraged her to get rid of things. She asked me what to return. I felt so privileged sitting in her clean white bedroom on the beautiful cotton duvet, and I was giving my opinion on what looked like 6 pairs of the same platform shoe. I mean, there were differences. One had blue leather straps, one was taupe, but they were virtually the same shoe. I said, "Patrice, you can only wear 1 pair at a time. Just keep one." I think she kept all of them. She was a Libra, she just couldn't decide. Well, one way we did get rid of things was we had a lot of yard sales in her awesome Santa Monica neighborhood. And once I drove up with my car just filled to the brim, and the Rolling Stones were blasting on the radio. I think it was Satisfaction. And I rolled down the window and stuff just started falling out of the car. And Patrice was on the curb just laughing hysterically, just doubled over. And I laughed so hard, I think I peed my pants a little before the yard sale. But we had so much fun together. In addition to returns, Patrice was very keen on price adjustments. Once we were on the phone, and she was like, "I have to get off. I have to go to Anthropologie. Their 40% off sale on sale is ending today, and I need to get my price adjustments." I'm like, "Oh, are you going to rebuy the things that you bought, but they're now on sale, and then returns the one you already had?" She said, "No, those items are gone." She was yelling at me. She was like, "I need the price adjustments. I have to go." I said, "Patrice, you're acting a little crazy. This is a little OCD. Besides, don't you have enough stuff? Just return all the stuff and not get the price adjustment." She hung up on me. I didn't hear from her for weeks. Over the years, Patrice got a little more reclusive. She became more isolated. We'd make plans to go to a show, and she would just cancel last minute. I tried not to take it personally, and eventually I just stopped making plans with her. I didn't realize that her showing me her closet and being witness to her shopping addiction was maybe a little too close for her, and she just had to push me away. At our last yard sale we had, this got awkward. She wanted me to move my car up the street like only 2 car lengths. It didn't make sense to me, so I didn't do it. And she got really mad. Her face went white, and she said, "This is the last yard sale ever." Sadly, it was. Maybe Patrice thought our friendship was something she could return if I didn't act the way she wanted. So I drove away. She was there on the curb with her piles of clothes, and I drove away, leaving our friendship behind. But I was pulled back into her life 2 years later when I learned that Patrice was diagnosed with cancer. She wanted help selling her clothes. She'd lost so much weight, it was obvious she wasn't going to wear most of them anymore. So I suggested she use a service that sells them for you, like ThreadUp. Or maybe it would be constructive for her to have something to do and sell them online. But I don't think she had the focus. She couldn't concentrate. It wasn't that she didn't have energy, she just couldn't focus on them. She begged me to sell things for her. I said, okay, let's start with 3 things. She gave me 3 very expensive leather jackets from Vince that were $700, and one of them sold for $350. Encouraged by this, she begged me to sell her clothes for her on eBay. So reluctantly, I just took armfuls of those bags of clothes from the garage, and I brought them home, and the clothes were piled high in, complementary colors of gray and blue, white, black, purple, colors she looked really good in. But even though this was just a minuscule portion of what she owned, these clothes, they just became this monster I couldn't deal with. And I realized this must be what it's like for Patrice, only so much worse. It wasn't until I went grocery shopping for her at Trader Joe's that I saw the full scope of her OCD. Apparently, I got the wrong chocolate chip cookies. She wanted the gluten-free ones that were on the shelf, on the right after you enter, in the middle of the 3rd shelf in the bottom. She was adamant that I go and exchange the ones I got. It was the same unrelenting face she had when she demanded I move my car at the yard sale. She was so serious. It was about control. It had to be done right. She said, "Trader Joe's will take them, no questions asked." And now I saw the organizing of tags clipped to receipts, the rows of designer sunglasses she never wore that were kept in a case because she never went outside, the chocolate chip cookies, the moving my car. This wasn't just hoarding or a shopping addiction. This was a serious mental illness. This was extreme obsessive compulsive disorder. I remembered my frustration over canceled plans, my hurt over constantly being pushed away, and I saw it wasn't personal. She did want to go out. She wanted to wear all her fabulous clothes to the theater. She wanted to have friends. She wanted to laugh and be carefree, but she just couldn't. The last day I saw Patrice, she was in bed, a mere whisper of the vibrant woman she once had been. I brought her favorite gluten-free chocolate chip cookies from Trader Joe's, the right ones. She took a bite, smiled. I didn't tell her about the clothes I hadn't sold. I mentioned instead the time at the yard sale when my stove was falling out of the car and Satisfaction was blaring over the radio, and she laughed. It was good to hear her laugh. I honor her memory by not buying clothes with the idea of returning them again, not doing things with the idea I can do them over, but living in the moment and just being with people and seeing them. I donated her clothes to the American Cancer Society and Dressed to Impress. And it felt really good just to know that she was no longer, her spirit was not burdened with these earthly possessions. And I was given a pair of her Swank Oliver Peoples designer sunglasses when she died, and I'm happy to say I've worn them for 2 summers. They are totally scratched, and they are not kept in a case waiting for the right moment. Along with the sunglasses, I inherited Patrice's Tagger gun. I rarely return anything anymore. It totally helps that Macy's and Anthropologie now have a 2-month return policy. And you only get 1 price adjustment at Anthropologie. So if any of you bought a dress that I returned after wearing it, I'm sorry, it didn't smell like me. Patrice, I'm so sorry I didn't understand about your OCD and that I didn't sell your clothes for you on time. And if you bought the Bed Bath & Beyond couch cover I returned, if you have the receipt, just take it back. They'll take it, no questions asked.